30 minutes, and I don't wish to waste the time. I've got 30 minutes, but I have only one question to ask you. I want to know what makes 1990 and 91 distinctive from many other years. I've been here for over 20 years, and I want to know what's going to make this year unique and different in and of itself. I want to know why you are the officers that you are, the leaders of the school, and as leaders, what you plan to do. No, I don't plan to repeat what the president of the college said. The only comment that I could say, basically, if you do what the president of the college does, you'll be great, because to me, he is a leader of unbelievable quality. I say that not because he's the president of the school. I say that basically because I admire the man, amazed at his capability and talent for somebody so young, and so capable, and so skilled. And he is unbelievable in many respects. But I want to ask you in terms of this year, and look at the title that Stu gave me, Helping Hands. I want to know in this year what distinction this particular group of people is going to have. There were two people that were asked a question one time, and the question which was asked, of all the teachings in Scripture, what was the most important? And the scholar Hillel said, of the first 39 books, of all of the teachings in that first 39 books of the Bible, the one teaching which was the most important of them all is from the book of Leviticus, love thy neighbor as I love thyself. Jesus was asked that same question later on, and Jesus responded by saying, it was told to you of old, love thy neighbor as I love thyself, but I say unto you, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I realize that's theology. I realize it's religion. I know this is a state school. But to me, in relationships with people, one, to love one's fellow man, and to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, to me there is no greater teaching, no greater motivation, no greater charge. In terms of helping hands, I want to ask that question because I see the baron of the school over the 20 years. I know what's going to happen in the month of November. There will be a carton out there, and we will have a can drive, and we will have a food drive, as if hunger only occurs around Thanksgiving. Around Christmas time of the year, that holiday basically, which many people begin to prepare for almost all year long, I know that once again, there will be a Christmas basket which will go off to a needy family. As if the only two times in the year that there are people that are hungry, that there are people who are starving, that there are people in want, that there are people in need, must be only twice, Thanksgiving and Christmas. But ladies and gentlemen, in the Hampton Roads area, in Newport News, Hampton, Pocosin, and Phoebus, I've got 28,000 people who are hungry, who are starving, and want and in need. Understand something. I would love to see Thomas Nelson Community College to be the spearhead of a food drive, to help the food bank, to help the hungry. To me, it would be a great charge. Please realize that's not Thanksgiving once a year. It's Thanksgiving that there's food on the table, something to eat. I realize that tomorrow or today, and I always forget the fall of the year. I always figure it's the fall of the year, but the seasons always throw me off because the weather doesn't always go along with it. But I figure it's got to be the fall of the year because I see the pumpkins coming in. And when I see the pumpkins, I realize it must be the fall of the year. And what do most people do in the fall of the year? They go through their clothes. They put away the summer clothes. They begin to take out the clothes for the fall and for the winter. Please realize, for many people, you have winter coats. For many people, you can make that change over. For many people, you decide to a great extent, my goodness, this is old, I've had this for so long, I really don't feel like wearing it anymore. Or it is out of style, it is out of season, and therefore I don't choose to wear it. But you realize, for many people in this area, they will not have a winter coat. They won't have an overcoat. To them, it's not a question whether the color is right or not. It's not a question whether this was last season or whether this is out of style or not. Their concern is that they could have a coat which basically they could keep them out of harm's way in the cold. Please realize, you and I may have a luxury. I have a coat which basically allows me to unzip the lining so that I can wear that in different seasons of the year. And when it gets cold enough to put the lining back in so that I can decide how warm I want to be. And for most of you that know me, know that I pick out the sweaters that I want. So that not only do I have the winter coat, but I have sweaters galore because I have a thing about sweaters. But wouldn't it be marvelous at this time of the year that this particular group, together, united as one, decide to have a clothing drive? Not a clothing drive called, hey, rejects. It is basically saying what I really want is an overcoat drive. What I want is a sweater drive. What I want is a clothing drive, and I don't want just a box, I want it to be active. I want posters all over the school, and I want to speak. No. In other words, basically, I would love to have so many boxes and so many clothes that the question that the dean would have is, how are we going to transport all of this stuff to the various shelters? After all, we only have one van that I know of, and that's used by AV. Where are we going to get a truck which is going to be big enough to haul all of this? It's a delightful question, and I'd love to put it on her lap. But please realize something. I really want to be able, for this institution, to always say, we took care of the people that are in need. And one of them is not only the hungry, but those are also basically those that do not have the clothing. And we have far too many people in this area that basically do not have adequate clothing. And to some extent, that's an active drive that we ought to have. Now please understand something. I realized that when Steve gave me this topic beforehand, it was almost like that what I was going to talk about with Helping Hands would be probably within the institution, within the school, in helping. But I really think that the greatest charge is not helping oneself, but helping one's fellow man. It's not so much how well I lived in life, but rather what I did to help somebody else to live a better life. To me, the question isn't how I left life, but what I gave to life. It isn't so much what I did for me, but what I did to make this world better for somebody else. Please realize that to me is a great charge. Each of you has potential. Each of you has the capability of being. Every time I've spoken to Phi Theta Kappa, and I think I've spoken to Phi Theta Kappa 4 or 5 times. I've been to the banquets, I've been to the initiation. Anytime Phi Theta Kappa asks me, I usually say, I'll do it, it's my pleasure. And I give the same charge every time. But the charge I want to twist a little bit this year. It's the charge which to me comes from the United Negro Foundation. To me, it ought to be the theme of every educational organization in the country, if not in the world. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. And please realize, when does tutoring come into effect? When do we have the great tutoring? It may be 5, 6, 7 weeks down the line. We have Operation Alert. That form I'm supposed to fill out for all those people, let you know, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Alert, alert, alert. Red alert, alert, red alert. To be honest, most of the people that are red alert have already dropped. The people that I really want to get to have already quit. I have one student that did not do well in the very first speech. I spoke to the student afterwards, taught that student for a while. And after I said to that student, I want to work with you. And I really meant that. And the student didn't show up. And it bothered me. So I looked down my roll sheet, and you know what? The student doesn't have a telephone number, which means he couldn't get a call from the Big A. So I called over to Student Services, I called over to Admissions and Records, and said, let me have a phone number. Is there an emergency phone number down there? And I called the emergency phone number, and it was disconnected. My difficulty is I can't reach the student, so this week he'll get a love letter from me. Now please understand something. When I use that example, it's not because I want to glorify little old me. Not at all. What I want you to realize, in a roll of 24 people, of 30 people, 40 people, 50 people, I don't care how large the roll is, I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you. Because if I lose one individual, I have lost the potential of an individual who may be a great success. May be a great success. Their success may only be that they passed one class, mine. Success may be that coming out of that class and they took speech, they were able to do something else. But I don't want to lose you along the wayside. We lose too many students in the first few weeks of school. We lose far too many people before. It's like when I say public speaking, and I know public speaking is, it's second to death. In fact, some people define life as birth and the first time you have to give a speech. Now, realize, in that sense, there are people who quit public speaking before they have to give the first speech. There are people that quit classes before they take the first exam. And understand, it's terrifying, it's scary. I've never taken accounting before. I have no idea what he expects. I have no idea what they want. I have never done a computer program before. My gosh, I have heard things about this individual. Oh my goodness, I'm scared. Or the mere fact it's college alone, I leave. And that's sad. Please realize something. Once you walk through the doors, I want basically there to be a potential for you not only to walk through the doors, but to succeed. I don't want you to fail. And if you quit, you are not only failed, but you are defeated. Now, each of us probably has flunked something somewhere along the way. I don't care if it's a composition you got back that looked like a total reject. There was more red on the paper than there was blue. There were times when you got a paper back from accounting and the person looked at it, excuse me, do you know what columns are? You've done a computer program, and I've known Jackie over the years, and Jackie sits in the computer room. Actually, next year we're charging him rent because Jackie's there from early morning until late at night. I mean, when I go at 10:30, Jackie is still there. And I know why he's there. There's a program that just hasn't quite made it yet. But the one thing I love about Jackie, besides the fact that he was a student of mine, but the one thing I love about Jackie is because Jackie doesn't quit. And Jackie will not let the problem get the better of him. The one thing I like about Jackie is he has a lot of drive, a lot of determination, a lot of fortitude, and he will make it. And I will watch him at graduation, and I will be the one individual, if no one else stands up and applauds him, I will. Because to me, you made it, and I like you for that. Now please realize, there are a lot of people who don't have Jackie's drive and determination. To a great extent, they can't just depend upon themselves. Some people need the support of other people, and we really need that support program. To me, that comes along the way. It is sort of like a group of people that my congregation has adopted come from the Soviet Union. And for me, it's calling them on the phone just to ask them how things are. It's stopping by the house and bringing things over. It's inviting them over to my home, etc. And no, I'm not expecting that from student organizations. But what I really want is to take people under the wing. I really want tutoring system to begin before the semester begins. I really would like to see an early orientation program. I would like to see orientation programs whereby people learn to read, listen, take notes, etc. I'd like for students to learn and have different instructors come in during the orientation program before school begins to give a lecture, a brief one, for the students to take notes, and then for the instructor right afterwards to say, here's what I thought was important. Here's what I thought that you would write down. After all, here was the definition that I gave. Here were the 3 points that I made. So that basically in your notes you should have that definition to have those 3 terms. But please realize, a lot of students will fail because they still have the old bad habits. They still have the same old thing. To a great extent, it could be everything from the scheduling of time, poor study habits, etc. But then there is another. One I have to realize. Money. I have no idea what tuition is going to be in the spring of the year. I have no idea whether there's going to be a surcharge put on because of the governor's and the budget cuts. And I hope there is none. The only thing I want to talk about for half a second is not tuition. I worry about books. I canceled one book this particular semester because I thought it would be too much for the course. It bothered me. The 2 books together would have been $43. In organizational communication, I couldn't justify it. I canceled one of the books and said, return it to the printers. No way. I only have one book, and that bothers me as is because it's $23. I don't think the book's worth $23. But if you check one thing, I have every one of my textbooks in the library on reserve. Now, again, this is not Arnold Abrams. I'm not blowing a trumpet, and I don't want to show for blown either. What I basically want is, I think there should be at least one textbook for every course in the library or reserve, and the student government ought to promote this and promote it strong. Why? There are those who barely make it and figure out when they have to have the money in for tuition. There are people who are on a Pell Grant, but they ain't got no money until the Pell Grant comes through. There are people who they figure the tuition, but they have a shock thing called books. And to be honest, I really would like for people, there's no list in this whole school. There's no list in this whole school except in the bookstore in terms of what book costs. Therefore, when I walk in and I've got accounting 1, my eyes pop. It is, my goodness, it is 4 books. All of them required, all of them necessary. Good golly, Miss Molly, slightly under $100, and that's without a coupon. This is only 1 course, and I'm taking 5. I had no idea that books were going to cost me over $100. Now, when I don't have money, when I don't have enough money, I have glasses. But I ask you a question. How many people that go to Thomas Nelson Community College, when they have no money, honey, can say, charge it? It's not a question of whether we take American Express, Visa, or MasterCard, or Discovery Card. And the fact that the bookstore does not give away coupons, half price. It is basically, we have too many people who cannot afford the text. And to a great extent, there has been no influence by student government in any way to voice their opinion in terms of books, the amount in terms of books, or to help students out who cannot afford the books. There's no lend program in this institution. There's no lending program with regard to textbooks. We only do it two ways. One, we sell them new. You sell them either back through the bookstore or you sell them on their own, but there's no lending program. Now please realize, the books that I have, yes, I have one on reserve, but there's times where I will say, I usually don't require anything in the textbook the first week at all. I figure it takes a week to get the books and I know people don't have the cash, or I'll say it's in the library. But I'll ask some people after the first week, how many of you don't have the book? And there's several people, I don't have the book yet. And I really want to know to make sure that they get the book. And I usually ask the question after class, and I would say, see me for half a second. And I'd say, well, how come you don't have the book yet? And they usually will say, they're out of the book. They're out of the book. Very few people can really say, I don't have the money yet. I don't get paid till the first of the month. And to a great extent, they say the bookstore doesn't have it. And I go, oh, I didn't know that. And I usually don't know the bookstore doesn't have it. And so I go to the bookstore, and there's stacks of those books. I need to know that. I have a guide in my class, the first day of class, which is everything you want to know about Abrams in order to succeed in speech. And I'm sure whatever I didn't write on that handout, everything you want to know about Abrams, students tell. Let me give you a couple of things. Again, it's not the pronoun I. I want to see an exam file here at Thomas Nelson Community College. I want to see an exam file which is given out, which is in the library, on reserve for every student. Now, I put my exams in the library, but let me tell you what. I was a student at the University of Maryland. As an undergraduate, and I went there for graduate school. And as an undergraduate, I was an independent. It means that I didn't belong to a fraternity or sorority, which is called the Greek system. And when I took exams, I was at a disadvantage. Because what the Greek fraternities and sororities did, was they had exams and they kept them on file. So that if you, let's say, had history with Dr. Hart, or you had history with Dr. Prang, you could go into the exam file, pull out Dr. Hart or Dr. Prang's exam for Western civilization, American history, and find out the kind of test. I walked in not knowing what the person would test, nor how the person would test, what they would emphasize in the exam, or what they would not emphasize in the exam. I walked into an exam absolutely cold. Therefore, for you to study, how to study, what to emphasize, what to stress, became difficult because you really didn't know. However, once you see an exam on file, what happens? First of all, I got people that will come up and ask me questions. You've got 7 steps in the communication process. I cannot find that in the book, and you haven't lectured on it yet, I don't think. What are those 7 steps? I can't find the answer to this question. What is really the difference between self-concept and self-esteem? Part of it is, yes, I want you to study and learn. But I want every student that ever takes a test from me to know the kind of tests that I give, to know how to study. Because my response is, I can only test you so many ways. And to a great extent, I'm going to have to repeat. I'm not trying to trick you with an exam. I want that exam to be a measure of what you have learned. And to some extent, I would like to see an exam file. An exam file. Will there be people that will resist it? Will there be instructors who will not like it? Will there be some instructors, as soon as they know that Abrams suggested, will call me on the phone, chew me out, and write my name on the lavatory wall? And the answer, of course, is yes. But you see, understand something. When you come to Thomas Nelson Community College, the whole purpose of this institution is that you're not a number. You are a name. You are not a thing. You are an individual. And every individual that walks through this door Whether they have one course or whether they take 100 courses, whether they're here to just take one class or they're here for a diploma, degree, or certificate. Each one, we want to be able to succeed, to have the potential to succeed, and we want to create an environment by which that success is possible. Please realize something. And if that exam file helps you to succeed, if there are people that sit down and say, let me tell you how you take notes from Abrams, because he's impossible to take notes from. Let me tell you how you do it. It's like people that take Dr. Iris Anderson, who is tremendous. She is phenomenal. She is great. She is bright, etc. If you take microbiology from Iris Anderson, first of all, you bring in a tape recorder. Second of all, you write everything she writes on the board. But there's no way that you can take the notes, which she said, and write everything on the board and feel that you will survive the 50 minutes. You won't. If you watch Abrams, Abrams doesn't lecture in an organized fashion. He is abstract. He goes over the place. Ray Duran likes the overhead. He likes the multiple choice questions. It's like all of life is a multiple choice question. Therefore, when you take Dr. Duran, here's what you have to do. Now please realize something. I'm not knocking any one of those styles at all. All those styles are good. All those styles are effective. There's different reasons, because it's partly the individual that teaches it, partly it's the kind of course that they teach, which lends itself to different types of way of lecturing, etc. But wouldn't it be helpful to a student if basically, prior to the semester, you really had something here which I can tell you, no, I don't want a slam book in terms of good props and bad props, props to take and props to avoid. I couldn't possibly recommend that. That wouldn't be professional, and I don't think that would be particularly ethical. But basically what I really want is how to succeed. How to succeed. And if I know to a great extent the potential for success, it would help me as a student in terms of succeeding. And to a great extent, as an individual succeeds, there is a greater probability that they will remain. Please realize something. I don't know what your grade point averages are. I don't know what your grade point averages were before you came to Thomas Nelson. But there's got to be at least one person here who didn't do well in high school. You got to have at least one person who went through high school and it was a blast and a half. In high school, it was sort of like what me study. It was sort of like I got through by the seat, but to some degree, it was there. But all of a sudden, something turns you around. But when there's some people who fail and have not done well in high school, they come to college, and on their first set of exams, compositions, papers, etc., they don't do well. It's almost like reinforcing, what's the reason for staying? I didn't do well in high school. I thought I could make it through Thomas Nelson, but evidently I can't. It's time to quit. And please realize, no, I don't want you to quit. I want that potential for success to be really there. To a great extent, I think there's a need for that. I really would like the tutoring system structured and organized. I would like it to be much better than it is now. I've argued that over the years. And to me, it's interesting. I have no list of those people in speech that are for tutoring. I have not been given a list. I have no criteria. I have not talked to any of the people they're going to tutor in speech. And I'm already in 1 month of the semester. I already should have talked to all those people probably within the first week of school and no later than the second week of school. And to be honest, I like to have met them all before school even began. Why? Because I want tutoring to begin early. I want tutoring to begin early. Ladies and gentlemen, what have I tried to say in the 30 minutes available to me? You and I have promise to keep and miles to go before we sleep. To me, promise is nothing more than potential. Promise is nothing more than something that we say or we articulate. To me, the judgment in life is not the promise that you make, nor the potential that you have. It's the promises that you keep. It's the potential that's realized. Each of you is blessed with tremendous potential and capability. Each of these organizations, with a group of people of different skills and capabilities, working together, can accomplish a great deal. I want, at the end of the year, to be what Dr. Templin uses as one of his favorite words, a celebration. I would like for this year to be a celebration of success. And at the end of the year, saying it was a great year. But at the end of the year to say it was great, but it was only a beginning. To feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to care for the students in need, etc. We need to do that. Today, tomorrow. Not just this week, but all year. May this year be truly a year of celebration. Thank you.
Was the First Lady of the Soviet Union and a scholar of Marxist-Leninist philosophy. She holds a PhD in her field from Moscow State University, where she is a professor of political ideology. Dr. Gorbachev has 2 children and 4 grandchildren and is an international champion of education and economic development programs to foster more cooperative efforts between citizens of the world. A pioneer in her role as First Lady, she is the first Soviet First Lady to be acknowledged by her husband as an advisor in the decisions that he must make. She is also the first Soviet First Lady to have well-known projects and to practice her profession. Her high visibility internationally and in her country has helped the world to become better acquainted with her people and pave the way for other Soviet women to take more visible leadership roles. As an educator, Dr. Gorbachev believes that glasnost is a critical concept in developing today's student leadership into the world leaders of tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Reza Gorbachev, who will address the national aspects of student leadership.
Thank you very much. I am so pleased to be here in your lovely state auditorium. It's wonderful. You know, I am thinking today, as I look around your state auditorium, is beautiful, but is not very big. And you are a very big country. And I am thinking, if you do not spend 500 millions for airplanes you cannot see, you could afford bigger auditorium. Well, so sweet of you to have me here today. You're reading your newspapers, we are having perestroika and glasnost, and we no longer have KGB in our country, we have government assistants. And with me today, we have 2 of our wonderful government assistants who are looking very much like regular American students. I come here very nervous to you because English is difficult for me. It's only my 7th language. I am invited here by your wonderful student government, Mr. Fike. He write to me about problems you're having in student government in the United States to see if we are having same problem in Soviet Union. But I have problem with letter. What is Roach Coach? And I look around your parking facility today, and I do not see crowded parking, so I don't understand parking problem. Then he write to me about difficult professors. Well, Stuart, in my country, when students are misbehaving, we send them to a different campus of our college in Chernobyl or Siberia. But I talk to the counselors at your college, and they say if you do not behave, they give you Barbara Granger for English. I think difficult professors are a good thing. Without difficult professors at Moscow U, Gorby would never be where he is today. I also come to learn some more about other institutions of education in your community. I know this is community college, you study 2 years, you learn skills, you go on to university perhaps, but then I read your newspapers today and I listen to the radio and I hear about private proprietary schools, ECPI, you become rocket scientists in 6 weeks. I'm interested in this. I thank you very much for your American hospitality. I meet Dr. Calver. He is Dean of Money here. He take me on swampside cruise of your donated campus lands. We wear the hip boots and he sink down to his neck in quicksand. It was very interesting. I tell him if City of Hampton give you land at end of runway from military base that is underwater, I can give you some land in Chernobyl also. I also get to meet Dr. Dolgen, and she take me on tour of your national forest, Bushnick Gardens. Then I meet Dr. Wolfgang, your dean of students. She take me on a typical American girls' night out. We go to Odyssey Disco. But we had some problems with the dancers because Dean Calver would only give us a roll of pennies. Then I get to meet your wonderful Dr. Templin, young, handsome college president. He take me to his house to meet typical American families. I was most impressed with the fact that he has 10 children, and many of them speak several languages. Amazing. I speak to his wife, because I am very interested. In Soviet Union, we don't have 10 children. We don't have maybe 1, 2 children. How does she afford the clothes for the 10 children? She said, she go to garage sale. Now I'm very confused by this. The children not wearing garages. Mrs. Templin do not look like a garage salesperson making extra money to buy clothes for children. I ask interpreter, what is this garage? He say is out building for cars. So I think she is kidding with me, is state secret how to clothe American children, perhaps. Then I finally meet very, very wonderful person, Miss Elsie Lewis, and she take me with student government officers. She say Dean Calver gave her money to take me to gourmet restaurant. So we go to Phoebus, and she take me to Fuller's drugstore. I see this sign and say, eat dirt cheap. I say, Miss Lewis, I don't eat dirt. And so Stuart and the 2 families take me to Mickey D's. It's a safe restaurant. I'm familiar with that gourmet style from my country. I listened very carefully today to Dr. Templin's remarks. He talked about ordinary people with extraordinary opportunities. It's true. You do not have to be brain surgeon. You do not have to be a rocket scientist to be successful. You have to take advantage of opportunities. Take Gorby, please. This man go to college and distinguish himself by winning the Neat Dorm Room Award. But he was life of party. But, you know, who would think the dorm monitor is going to grow up to be head of Soviet Union? But he is a man who take great, great pains to look for opportunity. He was appointed Secretary of Communist Party after getting out of law school in wonderful Stavropol, where his principal job was to greet the dignitaries coming to the mineral spas. Was there he meet Yuri Andropov, head of KGB. You boys don't know him, right? He meet Andropov. Andropov is impressive with Raisa. And Andropov say, Gorby, you are a friendly guy, you got smart wife. We make you Secretary of Agriculture. And he made me professor at Moscow State. Gorby worked very hard on the agriculture, and in 1983, crop report come out, Central Committee read, and Berry report. There are no crops in 1983. But still, Gorby was not very effective in agriculture, but he was very, very good at getting to know everyone, at finding out what the problems were, and he can't be held responsible for drought of 1983. He questioned conventional wisdom. He married me. His mother says it's a bad idea. I study in Soviet Union. I do groundbreaking landmark research on women and men in collective farms. I go out and live on collective farms for weeks. I find out it's different between rural Soviet Union and the urban areas. Different division of labor. I researched Communist Party records. Was never done before. People just write the research, don't do any looking. In Soviet Union, it was not okay for me to be recognized for this. In fact, is no such thing as sociology in Soviet Union, so they call me political scientist researching Marxist-Leninist thought. I don't know a lot about Marx and Lenin, except my daddy was friend of Lenin. But I learned a lot about Soviet peoples and Soviet problems. And I tell Gorby about problems. And he is person who get to know everybody and make things happen. Get people to make deals and agreements, kind of like your car salesman in this country. Good car salesman, plus information from sociological research, which parties say doesn't exist, make Gorby a leader. So it was very hard work, very good people skills that put him in office. But he failed with the crops. He failed several times. Failure is just one more step closer to success. And Gorby have many, many steps to success. But he is a successful person today. Sometimes he was inept, but he was always persistent. He was a person who was a minority. People make the joke about him, say he got grape juice on his head. Some people say it's birthmark. Some people say it's big hickey. Does not matter. He loses his hair. Birthmark is very prominent. But he's okay. He becomes state leader anyway. He never loses sight of the big picture. And he don't forget the details. Big picture is perestroika and glasnost. Details things like bread, toilet paper, jobs, making the ruble something realistic and not just piece of paper. We have much work to do in my country. But we look to your country and your students and your creativity to learn how we might make many of the things that you have made. You take lemons in the United States and you make lemonade. And we want to do that too, but we want to make vodka. You have to remember where you come from. My father was a railroad worker, and I come from college just like this, study at school very much like this one. But people were caring about me. High school guidance counselors say, you are not college material. I don't listen. And I persist. And I go to college, and college people say, you can do it. You can do it. Forget everything everybody ever say about you. Forget bad things your grandmother say about you. Don't worry about Pingushka. You go ahead and you do. And I do. Recognize those who help you, he said. Dr. Templer, he's a wise man. Gorby have big problem. I have to get off back of plane. Cannot speak in English in your country for fear of press in my country. It's a bad thing for a wife of Soviet Union leader to get press elsewhere. Only the leader should get press. So mostly during early years, I travel. I travel everywhere. I see everything. I tell Gorby everything I see while he is making the deals and selling the used cars with the president. So we work hard. But finally, he recognized me. He take me to Great Britain. And in Great Britain, I get recognized as Soviet realism's answer to Princess Di. In 1987, McCall's magazine in the United States called me a cross between the steel magnolia, Rose Carter, and the activist Eleanor Roosevelt. The French press in 1985, and this is my favorite, called me Nancy's great rival. Most things I like about your country are exercise video. I also like about Great Britain, English literature, but I can't stand that bitchnik Maggie Thatcher. I love the classical music, and I love the American rock and roll. And in 1987, I love it because your American fashion designers named me Image Woman of the Year. Give me Image Award. And recently, I got selected as one of 10 most important women in the world. Now, I'm just a peasant woman in Soviet Union, study hard, get information, give to husband. Husband is smart enough to recognize me and mentor me, or else I'll kill him. And now I am able to do many things. So when you recognize people who help you, you help them make it too. They will grow also and follow in your footsteps. Don't climb up the ladder of success and pull the ladder up behind you. Let other people climb up. I think being a minority is an asset. Again, think of Garvey's grape stain. If you have grape stain or some other minority status, you come from poor family or some other reason, you will understand the people who feel different, and you will make them feel welcome. You will be a person to whom they will be loyal for life. You will have great following of people that you help. I hope that you will write to me, because I am still doing much research to help our country grow. You can write to me at Straya Plashad 4, Moscow, USSR. I have something that I want to give to your leaders in remembrance of today. Miss Lewis, will you come forward, please? This highly coveted piece of Soviet jewelry is the Soviet Union flag. It's beautiful on you. Also, to Stuart Fike, you will come forward. We have the flag of the Soviet Union for you. And to your dean, Wolfgang, I have a present. I hear that your budget is very little this year. So I give you the Russian Express card. In closing, because I know the time is running very short, and we will not have time for the questions, I have a Soviet saying for you. We žaliam šťastie vám, which means I wish you great happiness. Thank you. I will take just 2 American students with me back to Soviet Union.
Next will be Mr. Thurman London, the president of CSSA.
We'll see. First of all, before I talk about the CSSA, I'd like to compliment your leaders, Stuart and the two Pams. I was very impressed with them the short time that I've known them. Mainly because it seems to be the type of people that care about what goes on in the school and about you. Especially this summer, I know that Stuart, he lived in that office. He didn't go home. I come in the morning, he was there. I leave in the afternoon, he was there. So I figured he must have stayed there this summer. I never saw a bed or anything. I noticed his eyes were like this all the time, looking at that computer screen. And this Pam here, I met her at the award ceremony last year. And after the ceremony, she asked me to give her a ride to they were having a concert that night. And her husband had already left, so she asked me to give her a ride. So I said, sure, come on. So she was telling me all the things that she wanted to do this year and everything. And the traffic was moving about an inch every 60 minutes. And finally she said, if you know where the Holiday Inn is on Mercury, then you know there's Exxon on the corner and the Coliseum is down the street. So we had finally made it to the corner there. And I was getting ready to make the turn. Traffic was moving real slow. So Pam says, since things are moving so slow, I'll probably be late for the concert, so I'll get out and walk. See, I could have went the other way and been home by now, but I'm doing all this for her. She gets out, goes to the concert. But, she impressed me with the things she was saying, so she's a real nice lady. And the other Pam, we did a student video last year. Remember the James Brown and all the crazy stuff that comes out of my head. They were very helpful in that, and I enjoyed that participation. But Pam, most people are afraid to get in front of the camera. Pam just went right through it, and she was very articulate. That impressed me. So I just want to tell you, you have some great leaders, and I think you're going to have a good year. I'm new at this leadership thing. The only thing that I've ever led was being a quarterback in high school. I'm in the comedy, as some of you know that know me, I'm a stand-up comedian. And that's what I'm interested in, that's what I like to do. And people came up to me last year and said, T, you should run for president. And I said, do you have brain damage or something? Why are you asking me that? I said, well, everybody likes you. I said, well, that's not anything to be a leader just because everybody likes you. They just like what I do. They might not like me as a person. But anyway, I took that shot, and I'm president of the Classified Support Staff Association. And we do just about, I wouldn't say everything, Jimmy Wolf might fire me. But we do a lot of things here at the school, from cutting grass to the secretary of the president. And I'd like to extend this invitation as club leaders, anything that you need that you think we can help you with. Everybody calls me T, even though I'm looking at you, I'm not. You come by and say, T, if you would help us with it, if you could get somebody out of the organization. We'd be glad to sponsor your events. Over the past years, we've been the ones out there helping out, and we want to continue to do that. I'm stressing this year in my organization to have more communication, and I'd like for you students to, get involved with us. Like I say, I'm always around. I'm always visiting Elsie to see what you guys are up to. If you see me go by your office or whatever, say, T, we're doing this, and if you could, we need your help, and I'll be glad to do that. I'd like to leave a small story with you, since everybody's been so heavy this morning. Nobody told me exactly what to speak on. They just said, Stuart said, well, just speak on CSSA. And I graduated from Stuart Flack School of Speech. Stuart likes to say what he has to say and sit down. I remember the reggae group that was here a couple of weeks ago. I think Stuart got up and he said, I'm Stuart Flack. Hope you enjoy the show. That's all I have to say. and he wouldn't sit down. So I figured that was his campaign speech, and that's all I have to say. But anyway, I want to leave this little message with you. That I hope somebody told me a long time ago. You shouldn't let a lot of people say outside things hold you back. Other people are holding me back. I can't do this because they're doing this. I can't do whatever. One thing to think about, it might be your own self holding yourself back. There was a story about a little boy. He had a little dog and he went to the playground. He took a little dog and the dog was jumping and wanted to play and everything. And he tied the dog up and he went and played with the guys and having fun. And the dog was jumping, he wanted to get out there and play and everything. And the little rope he had around his neck came loose. The dog stayed right there in the very same spot. He wanted to play, but he thought he was tied. So you should think about that. I see that every day. Some people want to build and use their minds, but they don't because they think they're tied. And it's inside you. It's not what's outside that's stopping. Thank you.
We have a wonderful luncheon plan for you today. Please enjoy, and we'll take up again 12:31. Have a good lunch.
Oops.
So you know what that one's gonna be. We know you're already taping.
Yeah, pre-roll.
And then he's gonna.
Hi, I'm Pamela Jones, Vice President of SGA. This year we're having International Food Fest in the place of Oktoberfest. We'll be having a taco bar, make it your own way. We'll have fried chicken and all kinds of ethnic dishes. So come on out to Oktoberfest 90, i.e. International Food Fest, and get involved.
You said everything I was gonna say.
Just say hi, I'm Pam the Secretary.
Well, that's why. Let's start over. Okay, go ahead, Pam. You start over. I'll talk about the food bank.
Hi, I'm Pamela Jones.
I'll be back in a minute, y'all, okay?
All right.
This is going to take a while, I'm sorry.
Perhaps I'm cracking y'all up.
She's the one that's doing it.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm solid
I'll
as a
be
rock.
together. I'm together now. I'm ready.
Okay, whenever it's rolling.
Okay. Hi, I'm Pamela Jones, Vice President of Student Government Association. This year we are having International Food Fest in the place of Oktoberfest. So please come out and get involved.
Now you didn't say enough.
I know, I thought you were going to be talking for a while.
We gotta get our script together here.
All right. She's the one who wanted to do it off the cuff.
I think it would have been better. Hi, I'm Pamela Jones, Vice President of Student Government. This year we're having International Food Fest in the place of Oktoberfest. At that function we'll have ethnic foods of all kinds and a make it your way taco bar and also fried chicken and
Okay, but it's not International Food Fest. Food Festival 90. Okay. Now,
Hi.
why does he have to have a song?
because we're going to have to get it
Okay.
eventually. Hi, I'm Pamela Jones, Vice President of Student Government. This year we're having Food Fest 90 in the place of Oktoberfest. We will be featuring a make it your own way taco bar, fried chicken, and ethnic dishes of all types. Come on out and get involved.
The food begins at 11 a.m. and goes through 5 p.m. in the center courtyard. We invite all students to attend. Proceeds will go to the food bank, whatever it is. Anyhow, I'll start over again.
Oh, well, you didn't tell you your name either, Pam.
Yeah, I didn't tell her. I
She
forgot
never
that. I
does.
never
She
did.
doesn't want people to know
wouldn't
who
be
she
nameless.
is.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, do it again.
Hi, I'm Pamela Jones, Vice President of SGA. This year we're having a Food Fest 90 in the place of Oktoberfest. We're going to be having a make it your own way taco bar, fried chicken, ethnic dishes of all kinds. We'd like you to come on out and get involved.
Hi, I'm Pamela Glenn, SGA Secretary-Treasurer. Our fund begins at 11 a.m., lasts through 5 p.m. in the center courtyard. All proceeds go to the food bank.
Hi, I'm Stuart Fike, SGA President, and our main entertainment this year is the Flying Fettuccine Brothers. They're going to be performing on our main stage from 1 to 2, and they're going to be roving throughout the crowd from 2:30 to 4. And that's all I got to say about it.
Is it too raggedy for you?
Yeah, we gotta do
You have any
it.
Start this
suggestions?
thing
You
over.
wanna do us individually
Huh?
and maybe clip in
No.
some of this or what?
No, y'all look fine. It's just, you know.
He started making me
You
laugh.
have
I
any
was doing good till
suggestions?
you made me laugh. That's why I threw that in.
No, you're doing good.
All right.
Just, you know.
Just do it over and just.
And I think it helps, you know, when she's saying stuff, you make little gestures. You know, that was cool.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna be doing now.
Just. We'll be done in just a second. You can come in if you want.
You can come in, just don't make us laugh.
Come on in, don't make
I
us
wanna
laugh.
leave. I don't wanna come in, I wanna
Oh.
leave.
No,
Oh,
hey.
we got the frisbee thing also?
Yeah, frisbee golf. Speak about frisbee golf. Okay. He keeps doing this. He's going to have all these bloopers out there. Bloopers and practical
We have more
jokes.
bloopers than we have.
Last time.
Okay. Tell him.
Goes by frisbee flip.
Are you going to say frisbee golf? You going to talk about frisbee golf too?
Well, what is about it? We're having frisbee golf.
Frisbee golf, badminton, music, of all types.
Okay, whenever y'all ready.
Hi, my name is Pamela Jones and I am the Vice President of SGA. This year we're having food.
Click.
Hi, my name is Pamela Jones and I'm SGA Vice President. This year we're having Food Fest 90 in the place of Oktoberfest. We're going to be featuring a make-it-your-own-way taco bar, fried chicken, and ethnic dishes of all types. Come on out, get involved, and have a good time.
The fun is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the center courtyard. We're going to have music, frisbee golf, badminton, volleyball, and all proceeds go to the Peninsula Food Bank. By the way, I'm Pamela Platt, your SGA secretary.
Man, this was going good.
Tell your name first. I'll say my
Hey.
name
First next
Please
time,
say your
okay.
name first.
Alright, start over.
This is it. I'm not the one that's messing up. I hope you know that.
I know.
That's all you got to say.
That's all.
That's all we got
That's
to say.
it.
Hi, I'm Pamela Jones, your Vice President of Student Government. This year we're having food. Hi, I'm Pamela Jones, your SGA Vice President. This year we're having Food Fest 90 in the place of Oktoberfest. We will be featuring a make-it-your-own-way taco bar, fried chicken, and ethnic dishes of all types. Come on out, get involved.
Hi, I'm Pamela Blaine, your SGA Secretary Treasurer. Our fun begins from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the center courtyard. We'll have music, frisbee golf, volleyball, and badminton. And the proceeds go. Proceeds.
We were
We're
doing
gonna get it
great.
straight. We
Yeah.
are gonna get it straight. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you splice me in and splice her in when she does it right
Yeah,
once? I
yeah,
think
do
I've
that.
done it 1 or 2 times.
No, this is good. Just do it one more time. We can
Yeah.
do it this time.
Just relax, y'all. That was good.
I know.
Hi, I'm Pamela Jones, your SGA Vice President. This year we're having Food Fest 90 in the place of Oktoberfest. We'll be featuring a make-it-your-own-way taco bar, fried chicken, and ethnic dishes of all types. So, get involved.
I'm Pamela Blaine, your SGA Secretary Treasurer. Our fun begins at 11 a.m. lasts through 5 p.m. in the center courtyard. We'll have music, frisbee golf, badminton, volleyball, and all proceeds go to the Peninsula Food Bank.
Hi, I'm Stuart Fike, your SGA President, and our main entertainment this year is the Flying Fettuccine Brothers, and they'll be performing at our main stage from 1 to 2 p.m. and they'll rove throughout the crowd from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. Come on out, have a good time, everybody get involved.
Okay.
Is that good enough?
Can you wait
Yeah.
1 minute? Can you splice it in where we're all saying, get involved? Can you splice that into the end of it, or it has to be
Well, it's
rolling
gonna
at the
look
same
funny because y'all
time?
have moved.
Okay,
But you can,
all right.
I can do that and put it somewhere else. Put it
No,
at the end. I can put it at the end of the tape.
you want to do that?
Alright.
Can I have a frisbee?
Oh, God. End of
Yeah.
toes. Toes are gone.
Did that fall on you?
No.
No, not yet.
Can you hold the food while
Yeah.
we hold the
Oh,
ball?
I'm good at holding
Yeah,
food.
you hold on with food. Throw the sodas up there.
That's the way it should have been done to begin with.
So we're gonna say,
We're gonna-
Food Fest 90, get involved,
Mhm.
right?
I know.
On Keith's count, right?
Whenever you're ready.
You can.
Food Fest 90, get involved.
right.
And
Okay.
So now we're
Can
gonna
you get
talk
something
one
out
or
of
two
that?
plug me,
okay.
one or two rural. Run a commercial. Where you fishing at, Stu? Where you fishing?
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Cindy Houck. I'm president of the Student Nursing Association here on the campus at Thomas Nelson. We're selling the food tickets at Food Fest. So y'all come on out and enjoy yourselves. We'll give you the tickets so you can munch out. And no, we're not providing stomach pumps afterwards.
Okay, you need to do it one more time. Stay still.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Cindy Houck. I'm the president of the Student Nursing Association here at Thomas Nelson. And we'll be the ones selling the food tickets at the International Food Fest. So y'all come on out, enjoy yourselves, eat a bunch, and no, we are not administering stomach pumps afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, you'll just edit it, or you just tell me when to go.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, my name is Mark Shallock. I'm president of Upsilon Gamma Eta. At the Food Fest 90, we're going to be offering volleyball. That'll be on the sand courts here at TNCC. Everyone's welcome to come out, have a good time. Also, we're going to have frisbee golf. Frisbee golf will be located close to the tennis courts on the west side of the campus. It's going to be a new game. It's supposed to be exciting. Everybody come out and get involved. Also for food, we're going to have smoked sausage. These will be German sausages, Polish sausages. Come out and get involved. It's going to be a really good time. Thank you.
Okay.
It's good.
Only thing you
Good
said was volleyball. So if you want to keep that in, it's up to you.
I said what now?
Volleyball.
Volley?
Volleyball.
Volleyball.
They may just think he's real proud.
I can try it again.
It's up to you. You know,
Was
it
it good?
was
You wanna try
fine.
That was good.
That was the
Gosh,
only
we're not
thing that said
expecting to be
volleyball.
perfect.
So it's cool.
Only T notices it. I know.
Let's go
You
one more
know.
time, and then what? Can
Okay.
you then you use the best one because you're going to edit it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so after all, about the 19 takes that we've had.
Hi, my name is Mark Shallock, president of Upsilon Gamma Eta. This is your sports and activities club on campus. At the Food Fest 90, we're going to be offering volleyball on the sand courts at TNCC. We'll have doubles going on one court. We'll have 6-on-6 on the other. Everyone's welcome to come out. Just come out and get involved. Also, on the west side of campus, close to the tennis courts, we're going to be having frisbee golf. Frisbee golf is a new game just being introduced this year, and everyone's welcome to play. For our food, we're going to have sausage and, I blew that one. Sausage and something.
Just
Oh.
smoked sausages or
Let's go with the first one, gosh. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
something. Or,
Good day is
Okay,
coming.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Hi, this is Elsie again, all the way live from the SGA office. I'm here to tell you about our food fest on Friday, October 12th, from 11 until 7 p.m. That's right, 11 to 7 p.m. There'll be plenty of food. Our clubs and organizations and the SGA is planning an exciting day for you. Please don't turn your back on us. Please come out and support your SGA and clubs and organizations.
good. She wants to do another one.
No,
You don't?
because, well, okay, yeah, probably will.
Oh man, we got the boys.
Yeah,
We got
okay.
the boys. They're gonna do it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
for
she's gonna
real.
do another one though.
Oh, wait a minute,
Oh,
see,
you
I
just gonna
forget.
sit like that?
We want me to stand on my head?
And a chair, put my belly up there.
Oh, good gracious.
Here, wear a hat.
Good
Here you go,
hand
wear a hat.
I know.
Yeah, you need some props too now.
Well, he's already used that.
Food.
Let's get some wind effects.
You know what you can do?
This guy is not afraid to
Yeah.
say anything.
Cooking
That's why I got him.
I know.
Right,
Look at that.
Oh, yeah, right in there in the Nelsonite office on the shelf. He's all the way live.
All the way live.
Whenever you're ready.
Hi, this is Elsie Lewis coming to you again, all the way live from the Student Activities Office. This time. Get out! Yeah, get out.
Hold on, here you go.
Take the phone out the
Hello?
hood. Yeah, get out. Get out. Out.
You're
Out.
being kicked out.
Out.
We'll be in the cafeteria.
Give us our weapons.
I just give me a couple of minutes and stand
How
right
you
there.
doing?
Give me my weapon.
Illegal weapons. They're doing Elsie right now. Go ahead,
Is it
Pauline.
still on?
Do you know where Circle K is having their meeting?
120, I forget.
It's 120 something.
Hi, is it on there?
Yeah,
Oh, it is? Good.
okay.
Hi, this is Elsie Lewis, all the way live from the Student Activities Office. No, it's not. It's the Student Government Office.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Pat,
What are you, student activities technician?
Hi, this is Elsie Lewis, Student Activities Technician, coming to you all the way live from the Student Government Office. Yes, it's that time of the year again. We're having a food fest instead of an Oktoberfest, and the date is Friday, October 12th. This is not working. Come on, T, cut it off.
No,
Go
no, see,
ahead.
he'll edit it out.
Oh, okay.
That's what he did with us.
Oh, okay, good.
That's why we put that blue paper up there for date and all that.
I gave it there.
Just say it over.
Hi, this is Elsie Lewis coming to you live from the Student Government Office.
It's that office.
Okay, here we go. Again.
Just say SGL.
Hi, this is Elsie Lewis coming to you all the way live from the SGA office. I'm the Student Activities Technician at Thomas Nelson. I want to give you a little bit of information about the activities that are coming up for October 12th. And that's a Friday. It's our food fest. Yes, it's a food fest where you can come and get munchies, just for a little small donation. The cut.
Oh, you were doing so great.
Cut it
Oh,
off.
that was good.
Cut it off. Hi, I'm Elsie Lewis, Student Activities Technician here at Thomas Nelson. I just want to give you a little information about our upcoming activities for Food Fest. Food Fest is Friday, October 12th from 11 until 7. The clubs and organizations and SGA are preparing all these wonderful munchies for you to come out and sample. Please come out and support this activity. Please don't turn your back on us. Be there or be square.
Solid.
Okay, rolling anytime.
Hi, I'm Andy Rooney's son, Jim. A lot of people have called us up and wondered, what's the best way to cook a hamburger on a Sunday afternoon? So we sent off to the District of Hamburger Technology, and they've sent us some hand tools here we use. Now I know construction work is pretty complicated, but it looks like you need a degree to operate these tools. And if you're anywhat interested in doing anything like this, you can come out to the Food Fest. I'm sure we'll show you how to use them. These, of course, are number 3 spatulas, made in West Germany, of course. And we have a letter here from one of our writers. It says, "Dear Andy, I was skydiving." Now this is a safety tip on using your gas grill. It says, "Dear Andy, I was skydiving over at West Point last week and my parachute failed to open. Now I was falling at 120 miles an hour to the ground. And then I saw this lady flying at 130 miles an hour up. And I said to her when she passed, my parachute won't open." And she said, "Yeah, I couldn't get my gas grill to light either. So we'll see you out at the Food Fest." And this has been brought to you by French, American mustard style.
Okay, rolling.
Hi, Leon Coca here. You know, some people don't think that our hamburgers stack up the way the Japanese hamburgers stack up. Well, I'm here to tell you that we got the best hamburger in town, and if you want to know, you can come out to the Food Fest and check them out, or you can dial 1-800.
Let's do it again. I know you're gonna stand up.
Do what?
Let's do it again. I know you're gonna stand up.
You didn't know what?
That you were gonna stand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, let's do it again. Go ahead. We're rolling.
Hey, hi, Leon Coca here. You know, some people don't think that our hamburgers are built or stack up as well as the competitor Japanese. Well, I'm here to tell you that our hamburgers can exceed and exceed and exceed the demands of the foreign experts. Now, if you have any questions, you can call our hotline. It's called the Burger Hotline. You dial 1-800-EAT-BURGER. That, I'll tell you, we got crisis situation Burger Hotline starting next week. And for further information, you can call the Rush Limbaugh Show, the EIB Network. And I'll tell you, what was that? What? Oh, we just got a news brief in. Yeah, right here. These hamburgers, what are we cooking out there? Hamburgers? No, we're not cooking hamburgers. Tacos. Oh, this is a Mexican blip. We can't do this. Anyway, we're going to use hamburgers for the tacos. You don't have to bring your own shells. And please do not try this at home. Thank you. I didn't know what I was going to say. I just got ran out of. That's going to look so corny.
No,
Yeah, I feel bad.
want a fishing hat?
Say when.
Rolling.
The previous announcements were brought to you by Thomas Nelson Sailing Association. For further information, contact Mr.
BR91277. That's 1-800-EAT-BURGER.
That's all, folks.
I gotta make the, I'll say it, if you come in.
Come in and dance.
Stuart,
Can I take this to
Rob, come on in and I'll say the thing, I'll say it, but you stand here. You stand here, I'm gonna just dance around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Rob, you
Come
gotta be
on,
visible.
because you're the president,
Yeah.
come
People's
on.
gotta know.
What do you want me to do?
Hurry up. Just stand
do
there.
the hula.
Oh,
Stand.
yeah,
Do
right.
the hula.
Just stand there.
Where's the rappers?
Stand there. Stand there.
Yes. Go ahead, rapper. The Hawaiian bar.
Do it, Aloha. We're inviting you to come out and taste our tasty treats from Hawaii. Aloha now. Make sure you come on out for our Hawaiian tasties.
That was
You didn't
great.
say what it was.
Yeah, y'all didn't even say who you were.
Oh, you just said
Oh, at the food fest?
Yeah, you didn't say who you were.
What? I know.
Edit that.
Is that all you're gonna do,
That's it.
Thurman? Is
Huh?
that it? Is that all you're gonna do?
Yeah, y'all need to do it over because you didn't say who you were.
Who you were?
Oh, Lord, man, come on, baby.
Who you were representing.
Good gracious.
Come on, and you didn't say food fest.
Okay.
October 12th.
Oh, I thought you already got that part in
You
there.
gotta say it, beef it up. Everybody-
Oh,
Come on,
Beef it up,
come
Angela.
on, come on.
Handle it,
you better come on back in here.
President, handle
Elsie,
Come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
push him over there.
I hate being on
Yeah,
camera.
because it's hot
Yeah,
in
you,
here.
Mark did a
If
real
they
good
see
one.
my face on the picture, they could look in the post office and see me.
Say who you are and where you're from.
Aloha, I'm Angela. This is Rob. We're members of Circle K, and we're inviting you out to the Food Fest on Friday, October the 12th, from 11, you gotta do it again.
There you go. You were doing great.
Because I messed up on the time. And that says 5, is it to 7?
It's till 7. I'm
Okay, that's what I'm, okay. You ready?
sorry. Can't change the flyer now.
Aloha, I'm Angie, and this is Rob. We're inviting you out to the Food Fest on Friday, October the 12th, 11 until 7. We're in charge of the Hawaiian Fruit Bar. Come on out and taste some fruity fruit.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Done real well, Buck.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
I'm Lona Wagner and I'm treasurer for PTK. Come on out. What's the date?
October the 12th.
October 12th? Okay.
It's right here.
Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Okay, whenever you're ready.
I'm Lona Wagner and I'm treasurer for PTK. Come on out Friday, October 12th for the Food Fest 90. We're going to be selling popcorn and ice cream for the SGA and drinks. The proceeds will be going to the Food Bank of Virginia.
Great. What's wrong with that?
Break your can.
Okay, anytime.
Okay, my name is Agnes Williams with the Nelsonite staff, and we invite everyone to come out to the Food Fest, which is on Friday, October the 12th. We're running an Italian sausage sub table there, so come on out and have a good time.
You want to do one more?
Okay. Hi, my name is Agnes, and I represent the Nelsonite staff, which is the college newspaper. And on Friday, October the 12th, at Food Fest, we're running this Italian sub table. So come on out and have a good sub and have a good time out at the Food Fest.
Okay. You ready? You ready? When I do like that, you start talking, okay?
No, you gotta holler.
Not holler, but talk loud.
Right.
Good evening. I want your blood. Come on out Friday, October 26th, 8 to midnight, to the Halloween dance. $3 single, $5 couple. Bring friends. I need plenty of blood. Prizes awarded for best costumes. And munchies and drink also available. Be there or be square. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
They gonna look right in and put this look at
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Good evening. I want your blood. Come out Friday, October 26th, 8 to midnight to the Halloween dance. $3 singles, $5 couple. Bring friends. I need plenty of blood. We give prizes awarded for the best costumes, and we have food and drink available. Be there or be square. Yeah.
That's a horrible mess. Why don't you say good evening and I want your blood? Then I'll say parts of it and then give you parts of it to say, okay?
Okay. Yeah, good evening. I want your blood.
Come on out. Friday, October the 26th, 8 until midnight, to the Halloween dance.
It will be $3 single, $5 a couple. Bring all your friends. I need plenty of blood.
Oh yes, and there will be prizes awarded for the best costumes. Plenty of food, plenty of drinks. Be there or be...
Where? Yeah.
Oh.
that, Bill?